This segment brought to you by Kansas Corn. Learn more at kscorn.com.
I'm Gary Fike with the Red Angus Association of America. I'm the Director of Commercial Marketing, and we recently decided to conduct a survey with the aid of Kansas State University veterinarians Dr. Dan Thompson and Dr. A.J. Tarpoff to determine what the most widely recommended practices were in the commercial cow-calf industry. So with a great deal of help from them, we surveyed over 1,100 veterinarians across the United States. A big survey because represented 35 states and 3 Canadian provinces, but maybe what was most impressive about it to me was 2/3 of those responding veterinarians came from one of the top 10 beef cow producing states in the U.S. So that was a big part of it, plus the fact over 30% of those veterinarians had 30 years worth of experience, but we had a pretty good mix because another 26% had 0 to 5 years of experience. So that was a nice cross-section, we felt, of the industry. We did this because, you know, there's a lot of different health protocols out there, and we just really wanted to get down to what it was that was being recommended by those veterinarians out in the commercial world, in addition to the fact that during this time of perhaps thinner profit margins, we need to make sure that a good health protocol is being followed, because cow-calf producers might look at ways they can cut costs, and doing that by not giving the correct vaccine protocol may hurt them in the long run. So we just want to make sure that everybody kind of understands from this survey what is most important and what really needs to be done. The overwhelming majority of veterinarians that were surveyed said that you need to use a modified live vaccine, whether it's at branding, whether it's at pre-weaning, or even post-weaning. If you look at branding time, and we call branding time at 2 to 3 months of age. So in a spring calving herd, you know that's going to be May, June maybe. Those calves should be given a modified live vaccine for the vaccines recommended, predominantly the clostridial diseases, bovine respiratory syncytial virus, BRSV, and PI3. BVD types 1 and 2, not so much, at 78 and 77% at that time. But only 10% or 12% of the veterinarians recommended that you use a killed vaccine at that time. When we moved to pre-weaning and post-weaning, it still doesn't creep up a lot, but it still goes to 90 or 91% of those veterinarians recommending you use modified live vaccines versus killed. And then the use of the BVD and then the types 1 and 2 BVD jumps from 77-78% at branding time to 96 and 97% at post-weaning time. Those are very important vaccines that need to be given at that time, because the calves are going to be shipped, obviously, maybe right off the cow, or they might be weaned for 90 or 30, 60, or 90 days afterwards before they're shipped. So the results of the study are actually going to be released at the Red Angus Brain Trust, which will be January 7th out at Denver during the stock show, during the National Western Stock Show. After that, the study will be available on our website, and it's also being submitted for publication in a refereed journal article, and that should come out probably sometime in the middle of the year. That's a scientific journal that probably is not going to be widespread in the ag media, but we'll have stories out ahead of that time that will be in the general ag press. What we really hope for this study and the results of this study being broadcast to the industry, if you will, is that producers see the Red Angus Association as being concerned and proactive about the betterment of health protocols in the entire industry, and not just about Red Angus cattle, but getting the information out there so that people make the right decisions no matter what kind of cattle that you raise.
The new Better Horses Network is worldwide. Presented by Lucas Oil. Featuring worldwide radio and TV with iconic hosts like Al Dunning, Sharon Camarillo, Ernie Rodina, Lindy Birch, and Craig Cameron. With American Cowboy, Horse and Rider, Brushy Creek, Cavenders, and Ride TV. Worldwide Radio and TV, the all-new Better Horses Network.